of Batman Return. So this is my review of Batman Returns, and honestly, I only seen this movie a handful of times, and all those was when I was a little kid. The only memory I have of this movie was probably when the Penguin came out from the sewers from the inflatable duck, the rubber ducky thing he was in. It wasn't rubber, but it was a vehicle or whatever, and it looks like a rubber ducky, so I'm gonna call it a rubber ducky. So yeah, he came out from the sewers, and that's like the most I remember from this movie. So I rewatched this about 19, 20 years later when I was a little, and honestly, after watching Batman '89 again and watching this pretty much for the first time since I don't remember Batman Returns as a kid, I think the first Batman movie from Batman '89, I think that's actually a lot better than this one. This one just feels like a downgrade. Like, I don't know, like the first one felt like the first one had a bigger budget almost. And this one just feels a lot cheaper. This one they reuse a lot of set pieces, it looks like. I mean, it's not a terrible movie. It's not a terrible, like, bad movie. Like, I don't really think it's bad. It's just, I don't know, it's pretty average to me. Like, I like what they did with the Penguin. I like how instead of him being like a mob boss or a crime boss, he's like this like deformed person. And as a child, he was exiled from his parents. He was ostracized by his family, and they essentially try to kill him as a baby by setting him in that frozen river. But it wasn't frozen, but it was snowing, so he would have died anyways. And then he was raised by penguins. He was raised by the circus, and it was really weird what they did with his character because he revealed on TV like, "Oh, I'm trying to find my family and find out why they did what they did to me or whatever." And he said that on TV when he was first debuted into Gotham City. And then you see Bruce Wayne watching this on TV, and like you can see he's almost emphasizing with him, like he feels bad for him, and then he immediately does a 180 at the Batcave, and he immediately suspects that he has like criminal intent, which he did, and that just really was weird. Like it's pretty in character if you ask me. Like it seems like something Batman would do. Like he'd be very wary of like a new person, like this comes out of nowhere, is on TV, brought up by the media, whatever, he'd be pretty wary of that. So that's pretty accurate. But at the same time, it's like, then what was the point of him trying to? What was the point in that scene where he was emphasizing with the Penguin? I feel like I like the character design of the Penguin because they're going for that more Penguin look, that more deformed look, I guess you can call it, and it was pretty good. The I could have gone without the whole Max storyline with that with him and Catwoman and how he was corrupt and evil and how he was trying to make a generator that would steal power from the city, and they never really elaborated on that. It's just Catwoman or Selena Kyle is she finds that out in the like beginning of the movie, and he throws her out of the building because she wasn't supposed to find that out and whatever. And it's to me, it's like okay, but like they didn't go anywhere with that plot though. It was more or less that Penguin was the main villain. Max was just kind of there, kind of, sort of like Penguin actually was the in the Batman movie that came out last year, where the Penguin wasn't really the biggest villain in the movie. It was more or less the Riddler and Falcone. So Max kind of wasn't like he was just there in the movie. He was just like a reactionary character. He was a reactive character, and I don't know. With this movie, I just didn't really care for it. Like I just kind of watched it. Like I wasn't like as impressed as I was with Batman '89. To be honest, like I do like Batman's new suit. I will say that because if you guys didn't know, Batman slightly changed his suit. They pretty much nailed the romance and the chemistry between Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne in the new Batman movie. In the Batman that came out last year, it feels like they kind of forced in the romance like at the last minute. Like there is no real chemistry with Robert Pattinson's Batman and Zoe Kravitz's as Selena Kyle or Catwoman. But then again, at the same time, it's like I don't know, it just didn't really feel right. It just felt kind of forced. But I guess you can say in that movie, Selena Kyle was attracted to Batman, but and that variant of that version of Batman, that character in that movie, he didn't really show emotion. So I guess you can say that. But that's probably why it didn't seem like they had chemistry. But the chemistry in this movie between Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne in this movie is actually a lot better. It's pretty much on point. I would say, to be honest, it's like the standard. I would say for like Batman and Catwoman relationship, it's like the standard. She was she she was actually evil in this movie. She was actually a bad guy. In most Batman media, Selena Kyle, she's just like a your cat burglar who's just stealing shit to make money. She never really, conspired with like criminals like she is in this film. So that kind of like it's different, I guess. I'll accept it. One thing I thought was really dumb and goofy was when Selena Kyle came home after getting thrown out the window, where because Max tried to murder her, he threw her out the window of the building, and presumably she was dead, but she somehow survived. I guess something broke her fall on the way down. Her transformation from Selena Kyle to Catwoman was just so fucking weird. Like it reminds me of that episode of South Park where Kyle found out that he was a Guido and that he was a Guido from Jersey, or he found out he was from Jersey, and then he had a transformation, he had a transformation to turn into a Guido. He started slicking his hair back. He started ripping up his clothes. He started like putting on spray tan, and that's scene from South Park, right? Where it's like really a forced trans. It's really weird. Like if you've seen that episode, you know I'm talking about how they just basically make it over dramatic on purpose for the sake of comedy, but unintentionally it was comedic how she became Catwoman. The way she's destroying her apartment, the way she's just like acting weird as hell, and then she sews together manically to sews together a Catwoman costume. It was just so weird. Like it just didn't feel like I don't know. It's not supposed to be a serious movie. The Tim Burton movies and the Batman movies from the '90s, they weren't never meant to be taken seriously. So I guess that's why it was more centered towards kids, even though it's actually a really dark movie. But that scene right there, it just like what the fuck was that? And the Penguin at first comes off as like he just wants to know who his pants are, and then for some reason he kind of has the same goal as the Riddler, where the Riddler when the Riddler in the Batman 2022 when he put those bombs all over Gotham, he did it because he wanted Gotham to feel the way he felt as a kid. He felt ostracized by society and whatnot. I guess the Penguin's motives are kind of the same here, where he wanted to blow up Gotham too with the Penguins. It was so goofy. It really was goofy, but at the same time, it was charming because of the time of the movie it came out. Like if they did something like that in today, like today, if like let's say Matt Reeves comes out with Batman Part Two, and he has a Penguin, putting bombs onto penguins. That would be kind of stupid. It'd actually be kind of dark too because you're killing animals also. But I did like the penguins. The penguins in this movie are probably the best part of the movie. I just think they're cute. Like I know a lot of them are either animatronic or a lot of them are costumes. But most of the penguins you see in the movie are actually authentic, like the ones swimming around in the sewer. But yeah, Batman Returns. I'm not gonna say it didn't age well. It's like a meh movie to me at least. Like a lot of people might like this movie, but to me it's just a meh movie. Like I'm like okay, whatever. It's like pretty inconsequential if you ask me. But yeah, if you guys did go on enjoy this review, like this video, like and a comment would be appreciated. Subscribe new to the channel. I'm doing a review of the Tim Burton Batman movies and the DCEU as a whole before The Flash comes out. So yeah, with all that out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.